What's up, guys? Welcome to Allegiant Property Services. My mic was not working on the scene. I didn't find out till later, but we're now on to Christmas lights. On this, we're working with new spools, new lights. So stay tuned and watch us put this house up. I hope you guys enjoy. This customer wanted to go with the warm white with the red on the tips of each peak. We've done this pattern a few times now. It looks pretty good. Stick around in the video and you can just decide for yourself. Also, we're using the 12-inch socket cord here, and we use the C9 bulbs, commercial grade, and they're great. And we also use the B2 circle clip, which is the best clip on the market in my opinion, and you'll see that here in a second. So Brooks here, he's going to show us how to screw in the bulb with these circle clips. Basically just take this bulb and you're going to place that circle clip in between the bulb and the socket, and you're just going to tighten it down the best you can. You don't want to over tighten these, but just tighten it down until you can't really do it anymore without applying too much pressure. He's going to do a couple of these and you just kind of watch how he does it. Also, we normally place all our bulbs and clips on before we get up on the roof. It's just easier this way. We usually just measure about how much footage we've measured on the roof line, and we get that all done on the ground. That way we're not messing with that on the roof. A little trick of the trade tip, invest in a tool belt. As you can see, I don't have mine with me on this one today. This is the first house of the year. I forgot it in my garage. But normally I have one, and it just makes it easier to carry all these clips. But as you can see, I just basically busted a hole and put this bag, put it in my belt, and that works just fine. But the tool belt is definitely way more sturdy, and you can put more stuff in there. Another small tip I have is get some mechanic gloves. After a few hours of doing this each day, your fingers will go raw. Trust me. Alright, so our first connection, this is the end of the socket cord. This is where we're going to put a female at. That is the female connection right there. You can kind of see I spliced the end of this wire, and it's just going to allow that end of the wire to go into this female connection easy and lay down over these prongs. As you see here, I push it down, and I'm going to bend that wire back on itself. And I'm going to take that cap and slide it over, and that's going to push that wire down on those prongs and allow that connection. Usually you can push it on with your fingers, but if you can't, use the back of your pliers, and that'll push it on just fine. As far as start points in a house, I normally just pick a left, right, north, or south. In this house, we picked the north side or the left side if you're looking at it. That's just the easiest way. We're just going to run this bottom roof line and gutter line first, and then we're going to go up top on the roof and work on the peaks and the dormers. So placing lights on each peak, I'm kind of OCD, so I myself, I like to get a bulb exactly on the very top of the peak. I think it just looks way better than leaving a gap on the peak and just jumping over to the other side. Everyone has their own opinion, but this is mine on that. Alright, here in this clip, this is where we run into our first connection what we're going to have to make. So our socket cord ends, and we're going to have to run a zip cord, blank wire, whatever you want to call it, down to this gutter line. I'm going to do this using, it's called a one plug adapter. This is actually our second year using these. I think they're great. They save you connections in the long run as far as males and females. This allows it just to basically continue as one cord. Old school way we used to do, we used to make our cords that connected each socket cord with two males on each end. But this, like I said, this saves you a ton of connections, and it's super easy and makes takedown a lot easier too. As you can see, we're going to just do the same thing with the cord as we did with the female down on the ground. We're just going to place it in there. We're going to get that cap. We're just going to push that down over the wire and slide it on. And that's going to allow that wire to get that connection with those prongs in there to run that power. The only thing different with these one plugs is we're going to have wire going in both sides. Like I said earlier, this is just going to allow for that continuous run of wire. You don't have to worry about wires coming unplugged here, or when you take it down, you don't have to worry about taking those apart. It just all comes down as one wire after you got this connection made. What I'm doing here is I'm just adding one of those one plugs to the end of that zip cord, running down to this gutter line socket cord. So one end is going to go into this one plug, that's the zip cord, and then the end of that socket cord is going to go into the other side. And that's just going to run that continuous line. That's all that is right there. now's a good time to talk about ladders. I feel like we have a variety of ladders that we use. This one right here is probably one of my favorites though. This is I think it's a 12 or 14 foot A-frame. It's the most versatile ladder we have. You can get on the roof with it. You can run gutters lining with it. You can do anything. It's all in one pretty much. We also have a couple different extension ladders. We have a 16-foot extension ladder, 20-foot extension ladder, and then a monstrous 35-foot ladder, which we only use on a handful of houses that we have. We also have a couple roof ladders. We basically just took apart an old extension ladder and went to Ace Hardware, and they have some hooks that you can place on the end of these ladders, and they make perfect roof ladders. We use these on the steep pitches. We didn't use it on this house, which we could have, but we feel pretty comfortable on these roofs just because of the amount of experience we have. But roof ladders are a must if you're doing this, especially on big houses. So what I'm doing here, I've learned in the past, when we're just putting different colored lights on the peaks, it's easier just to run one solid color, like here we did the warm whites first, and just get it all laid out, get it up on the house, and then go back and do the peaks. That way you're not guessing at where the peak's going to be or anything like that. You can just go back and know exactly where it's at, and you're just replacing 3 to 5 bulbs. So we finally made it down to the south side or the end of this house. What I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna throw a female on the end of this so we don't have exposed wires, so it doesn't get shorted out or anything. And if we ever want to add on to it, we just simply add a male connection to the new socket cord and run it from there.
All right, folks, we're gonna be going over in lines here. We finished the gutter line down here, so we're gonna run a power source from the gutter line up to that dormer. So I'm gonna go over how to do that. So first you're gonna grab your female. You can see here, but there's a tab over here. You're going to take your pliers and you just bend that back and forth. That'll rip out. And that allows that wire to run all the way through there. So you can just take this wire right here that we ran and you're just gonna lay it flat through there. And you're gonna find your cap, which I should have done before laying it in there. And you're gonna put that cap across the top like so. Squeeze it over just like we talked about before. And that is gonna press those wires down onto those prongs and allow for your power source. So there you go. So next we're going to, we have the blank wire over there, and we're gonna put one of these males on it. Be in order to plug in here, like, well, before that fell down, we're just going to take this and plug it in there. Boom. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to run that blank cord here in a second. Alright, as I talked before, take this male, we're going to put it into the zip cord, blank wire, whatever you want to call it. And pop that cap off there. Stick that in over the bridge, fold it over. Take your pliers, just pop that over like that. Right here, you can plug it in. Then we're going to take this and run it all the way up to the end of that cord, and we're going to put one of those one plugs in. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, we're starting down there. We're just going to run this all the way up. America, I don't know if you can see the jets. Freedom, baby. Anyway, back to the lights. So, like I said, we're gonna do another one of as I mentioned, you can take this, set there. You don't have to, but it just makes it easier going over that bridge right there. Take that, fold it over. Take your pliers, snap it on. And crucial step, you're gonna make sure you have enough wire, because if you don't, you're gonna have to rerun it or add some more. So I made sure we did that first. So go ahead and snip that. Make sure that's tight. And as we did before, just gonna pop that off. Everything is a little bit more challenging on the roof, just because there's a chance you could fall and die. But it's the risk we're willing to take. There we go, just put that cap back on again. Boom. Easy as that. Again, this is a one plug. It makes life super simple. It saves a whole lot of connections, which equals a whole lot of money. So just keep that in mind. All right, earlier before my phone died, we finished up this dormer. We ran all the way back, and we basically, well, we did. We put a female at the end up here. Normally at the ends, come up here and just put that like that. It's a lot more neater, a lot more neat. Make sure all these bulbs are working. Also, before my phone died, I made an inline right there. I just ran it straight up here to this peak. And I threw a female on the back of that.
All right, a crucial step is getting the power. Here, the power is on the front porch. And we're going to use this Woods timer here. It's got a remote, it's got dusted on settings and all kinds of settings on there. This one has a photo cell, so as soon as it gets dark out, this puppy will kick on and hopefully light up the neighborhood. Here I'm just making sure that this outlet's actually working, that it's got good power. I ran into numerous of outlets that weren't working. We had to reset them or find the breaker and flip the breaker or all that stuff. So this one is working, so that is good. So right here, I'm just gonna make a connection with the metal connection on the end of this zip cord that will plug into this timer and allow the power to get to the rest of the socket cord on the house. Very important part is you don't want to plug it in while you're running the wire and cutting the wire. If you do that, you're going to get shocked. It's going to pop. It's going to trip a breaker. It's going to blow an outlet. It's not good. So do not plug it in while you're running this cord, and going to cut it up here in a second. Normally what I do is I conceal my wire, my blank wire. I don't like wires hanging down. I think it looks kind of tacky. So on this one, I ran it up behind this shutter. It concealed it pretty good and it held it pretty secure. And then I connected my zip cord that ran from the timer to the socket cord. I put a male on the end of that, and I ran that into an inline on the zip cord up top.
Now it is a moment of truth. I'm just gonna plug this straight in here while we, actually no, I'll just timer in so we know we got power. Moment of truth. Now we're gonna see if we have Christmas lights or not. Looks like they're on. It's hard to see in the daylight. You can see there. So now we'll just go around, check all these bulbs, make sure they're all working. And I'll come back tonight. I'll get some videos of everything on for you guys.
There it is. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. You guys have a great evening. Bye.